guys, welcome back to my channel, your cozy reading and yapping corner. Today, I don't have any author with me, I'm not interviewing anyone. This video is me talking about all the books I read till now and whether I recommend them to you or not. We are halfway to 2025 and I thought why not do a quick mid-year reading wrap. So let's go. This year's reading has been superb. You know how many books I read till now? Drum rolls please. 25 books. I know for many people this is not a lot, but for me, with having so many extensive hobbies and college, this number is an achievement. And actually, I think the reason I was able to read 25 books in just 6 months was also because the books I picked up were really good. And I read a few series, and we all know when you're reading series, we cannot just read slowly or be able to go by without finishing them as soon as possible. My most read genre this year is sports romance. It has easily made it to my top 5 favorite book tropes. I read the Off-Score series by Ali Kennedy. When I started reading them, I actually did not know it was a famous book, or I didn't see it was on Instagram. I just saw one post of these books and I picked it up because the covers were so pretty. Yes, I am judgmental when it comes to books. I do that. I mean, come on. Sometimes you can just say when you see the book covers, you'll know that this is going to be a good read. And it was. So this series has 5 books, actually 4 books. The last one is the future epilogue of all the 4 book characters. Now this is a spicy college romance series. It's a standalone series so you can read them in any order you want. Starting with the first book, The Deal. Now I didn't expect to love this book as much as I did. I gave it a solid 4.1 out of 5. The main characters and Hannah Wells is a very confident person who aces her classes and everything except one aspect in her life. Whereas Greg Graham is the college bad boy and his dream of becoming a professional hockey player is threatened by his falling GPA. I think you understand the plot by this description. Now, I really love this book. The most thing I loved about this book is that how both the characters helped each other to get out of their trauma, to just help each other to grow a better person. The kind of development in this book was really good. If you're looking for a friends to lovers fake dating romance with spicy fun banter, then this book is definitely for you. The next book in this series is The Mistake. Now, after reading the first book, I had really big expectations for this one, but I did not enjoy this book. This book kind of bored me. This book is about John Logan, a certified playboy of the college, and Grace, a shy girl who has no interest in playboys. Now, this book is a second chance romance novel, and so it has lots of groveling. I liked the brewing in this, it was really cute, although it felt really lagged in between, and at the end it became a little too rushed. So that's why it's a 3.5 out of 5 for me. I wouldn't recommend this that much. The third book, The Score, is my favorite book in this whole series. Literally my favorite book. This book, I gave it a 4.5 out of 5. Now this book is a naughty boy, modest girl, enemies to lovers, friends with benefits trope. The main lead, Dean De Laurentiis, is like gorgeous hockey player and a one-night stand king, whereas the female lead, Ali Hayes, is going through a breakup and is trying to figure out her life out of college. Now, this book is the spiciest book in this whole series. I mean, the spice level was on another level. But at the same time, I love that the author did not sort the plot for the spice. The balance was perfect. So, this book is 100% recommendable, if only if you like spicy books. Next comes The Goal. Now this is the last book of the series. It's another really good book. I think it's a really good finish to the series. I loved the characters a lot in this. Especially I love when the female is the baddie. Now in this book, Sabrina James, she is the baddie of the whole book. She works herself to escape her shadowing past. She plans on graduating, kicking ass in law college, and getting a high-paying job. On the other hand, John Tucker, the main lead, he is a very team player. He never seeked any spotlight in his life until one day Sabrina rocks his world. This book is a surprise pregnancy trope where the guy falls first, is steamy, and has fun banter. One thing I loved about this book is how how patient John was, and how he cared for Sabrina, and the ways how slowly he broke the protective shell of Sabrina. It was really amazed to see this because I could not believe that's actually how a man could actually be that way, So, lastly, The Legacy. Now, I was almost not going to read this book, but somehow I ended up reading it. Now, this is a really sweet book. One couple gets married, one couple gets engaged, one couple leaves their careers, one moves, have kids, and all of those things. So you can understand by that what kind of book read it will be. Overall, I love this series. I would definitely recommend this series to anyone, but only if you actually have interest in these kinds of romance, or if you already have read these kind of romance and love these kind of romances. If you're someone who wants to dip your toes into these kind of genres, you can start from these series, but it wouldn't be my first as a recommendation. I read one more sports romance novel, and that is The Striker by our internet beloved Anna Hong. Now, if you guys don't already know this, Anna Hong became an internet sensation with her Twisted series, and definitely make a video on all her books soon, because how can we not talk about the books? Anyway, The Striker is a football romance novel. This is a part of a standalone series called The Gods of the Game. Now, this is the first book in the series. The other books are yet to come out. I really like this book, but having read other Anna Hong books, I felt like she could have written this much better, much better. That's why I rated this book a 3.5 out of 5. Now, in this book, Asher Donovan, the main lead, is a living legend in football, but by changing teams and a rivalry, the teammate cost him a summer training with a ballet teacher who is none other than his rival's sister, who has sworn that she would never ever date a footballer again. The Striker is a brother's rival, forced proximity, spicy book. Now, I loved the care Asher showed towards Scarlett and the way he helped her to heal her way through her past traumas. One thing I felt reading this book was that if the scenes in this books were rearranged in the whole story, then maybe this book could have been an amazing read. And it's a little bit odd conclusion, but that's what I felt like when I was reading it. So that's it regarding all the sports romance books I read. Oh wait, I almost forgot. The Off-Score series is being adapted into movies. How cool is that? And you know the best part about it is that the author is one of the producers in the movie thing or whatever that is. And the cast she chose, they are perfect, literally, As readers, we are always very excited to see our books turn into movies, but they always screw up in the cast or the plot or whatever. This time, the cast is literally perfect, and when I say perfect, it really is perfect. Every character I imagined, the way I imagined the characters, they're exactly like that. I can't wait to watch this. Since we're talking about Anna Hong, I also read a few more books of hers this year. I read 3 books from her third book series, the Kings of Sin series. Now, first I read King of Creed. I was supposed to read this book last year itself, but at that time I read like 4-5 books of Anna Hong at a stretch, and suddenly it felt like all dialogues and stuff were getting repeated, so I stopped reading it. Anyway, King of Creed is a marriage in trouble, millionaire husband, second chance, forced proximity romance. Now, Dominic Davenport is a powerful, ambitious, and the king of Wall Street. He has everything: a beautiful home, a beautiful wife, and crazy ass money. Until one day, his wife leaves him. Whereas Alexandra Davenport has played the role of trophy wife for years. She stood by her husband while he built a whole empire and finally gathers up the courage to leave him when she realizes that Dominic is not the man she fell for anymore. I liked this book. I did not love this book. Reason being, I feel like in second chance romance novels, you have to have more feelings and emotions involved in it because you already been that person. So your memories, everything should be more. I felt like that was lacking in this. Also, at the same time, the Alexandra and Dominic romance and their connection, their depth in the relationship is more connected towards their past, how they became lovers, friends, and everything. I feel like that should have been described and showed more while writing this book. So yeah, that's what I think. That's why I gave this a 3.4 out of 5. Next I read was King of Sloth. It's an enemies to lovers, forbidden romance, reverse Crumpy and Sunshine, and workplace romance book. I loved Sloane Kenningston. She's fierce, strong, and is a self-made billionaire CEO. If there's anything I love in romance novels, it is a strong FMC. On the other hand, Xavier Castillo, he is gorgeous and is rich beyond belief. Now, he has no interest in taking over his family's empire, and nothing brings him more joy than riling up his publicist, aka Sloane. Now, the banter in this book is super good, the romance too good, and the personal development of this book is to the point. Now, but the book is little slow paced, so few people might not enjoy it. So for me, it was a 4.1 out of 5. Lastly, I read King of Envy. Let me take a moment here to tell you that this book, by far, is the best book in the Kings of Sin series. Literally the best. There are very rare times where I swoon over the fictional man or the male lead, and this is that book. Vuk Markovic is a scarred billionaire who rarely talks and has never really is interested in relationship outside of his small circle except her, and she is engaged to his best friend. Anna Kidane is a supermodel, and for the outside world, she has a perfect life. She's engaged to New York's most eligible bachelor. But what people do not know is that this engagement is just a business arrangement, and the increasing attraction towards his fiance's best man is definitely not helping her. If you're looking for a morally grey MMC forbidden romance forced proximity book, then this book is definitely the best book, and this book is for you. Okay, I recommend this book all in all. The plot was really good. The plot was actually pretty unique compared to any other plots I've read till now. Vuk Markovic is obviously the best. I rated this book a 4.6 out of 5. That just tells how much I love this book. Now that was all about Anna Huang books I read. This year I also got to read ARC books. For people who do not know, the ARCs are advanced reader copies. Now, so usually what happens is that before an author publishes their book, they send ARC copies of their books to few readers and bookstagrammers. This is done both to point to any mistakes that have been made in the book and also to gain some traction before it is released. I got to read two ARC books. Firstly is the And I Need You to Choose Me by Anna Bido. Now, I like this book. It was my first pregnancy book I've ever read, pregnancy romance book I ever read. So it took some time for me to adjust to this book. I rate this book a 3.2 out of 5. You can check out my whole review about this in my blog. Moving on, I had another ARC, When Hearts Awaken by Victoria Lump. And I can't stress on how much I love this book. It sure shot is my kind of book. It's an enemies to lovers, slow burn, he falls first, dark billionaire romance. Two characters, Taylor and Charles, They both are really hard workers, and they work hard for their dreams while fighting their previous or past battles. From the moment they meet, they have this crazy feisty banter between them, which is so fun to watch. Sorry, to read. um, the plot, the pacing, the chemistry, and the amazing spice cannot be talked enough in this book. Now, this book surely has some heavy topics that are included in this, so only if you can handle them, then only I would recommend this book to you. I gave it a solid 4.6 out of 5. This year, I also gave Indian fiction a try. To give you a context, I've never really been a fan of Indian fiction, Indian author books, particularly because the few books I read till now have always been a really bad read. Now, anyhow, I want to try again, and surprisingly, they turned out to be pretty good. The first book I read was That Night by Nidhi Upadhyay. This was recommended to me by my sir, and this book is a thriller book surrounded by 4 college friends who are bounded by a dark night which comes to light after almost 20 years. Now, the plot was good. I definitely say the plot was definitely good, but I feel like it could have been written better because the ending became pretty predictable to me. Overall, it was not bad. If you wish to read this book, I would recommend you to go to my blog and check out the full review on this and see if it matches your taste or not. Next, I read The Lullen Sweets by Shrishti Chaudhary. Now, this book was sent to me by the author to read and review. It's my first physical copy ever to be sent I received ever to read and review. I was really excited to read this book, but to be honest, I did not enjoy it that much. Reason being, I think, is not because it's not a good book. It's the book. This book is actually really sweet. It has good characters, a good plot. Now, the only thing problem for me was that it's set in the 90s era, and the scenes in this books did not feel like 90s. They were too modern. They were like I could not understand the connection between those things, and I feel like it could have been written a lot better because there was so much disconnect with the storyline as well. So that's what I felt like. I would recommend this book to people who only are from the 90s era, who have lived in the 90s era. So you might get a nostalgic feeling reading this book, but for me, this was not. It was really bland read for me. So overall, it's a 3 out of 5 for me. Later, I read this book, You Only Live Once by Stuti Changle. Now, I don't think I need to tell you about this book particularly. I could just read you this small description of the blurb of this book because that itself was enough for me to pick up this book, okay? Here it goes. What if you ran away from your life today? 20 years later, 3 people are looking for you. One is dying to meet you again. The other wishes you had never met them. The third wishes they could have met you at least once. You're one person, aren't you? But you're not the same person to each of them. So that explains what kind of book this is. For me, this was a good 3.5 out of 5. Lastly, I read The Saga of a Dream by Anusha Chaudhary. Now, this book was also sent to me by the author. After having okay reads in Indian fiction, I did not have much expectations for this book either. But surprisingly, I actually enjoyed this book. I gave this book a 4.2 out of 5. Literally the first Indian author book ever for me to give 4 stars to. Now this book is a romantic and inspirational novel. It is about following your dreams, your passions, particularly those unconventional dreams that are looked down upon by the society. Overall, this book is a good blend of dreams, inspiration, romance, drama, and humor. I wouldn't say it'll just like shock you or anything. It's like things are predictable in this book, but also are really sweet. It also brings about the essence of love, let us you can say, okay? And that's why I love this book. I would recommend this book to anyone who wants a sweet read. Or if you want to know about rural India, or if you relate to the topic of following unconventional dream, then you should definitely read this. That's about it in Indian fiction. Now, if you're looking for a short books that you can just finish in one day, then I've got two book recommendations for you. First is Too Late to Love You by Azra Tabassum. It's just 79 pages, and this book is talks about losing your love or first love, trying to move on from a breakup and stuff like that. Now, it has so much focus on emotions and feelings. All right. Now, I personally feel like this book showed how timing and communication is really important in a relationship. The only thing I felt about this book is that if there was much more information about the girl and the romance, I would have connected more to it. If you're someone who wants to take stand after your breakups, if you're someone who wants to relate to this emotion, or if you have so much of emotions bundle that you are not able to describe or get through, this book will help you process through all of that. Second is Heal Before Hustle by Deblina Das. I recently interviewed this author. Do check out the interview video also. Now this book is even shorter than the other book. It's just 54 pages. It's more towards poetry. It's about how you should heal yourself, that is, take care of yourself before getting into the trap of being productive and running towards ambitions, this and that. I feel like in this age, everyone should read this book because everyone can mostly relate to this feeling. Everyone at some point of their life will definitely have gone through this phase. Reading this book helps you realize the aspects you ignored, unknowingly ignored, or the things you should take care of, and also will remind you to be mindful to yourself. Take a little step back. One thing I loved about this book is the poetry in it. The poetry is written so beautifully. If you're a poetry lover, you will definitely enjoy this book. The last book I'd like to talk about is this, The Husband's Secrets by Liane Moriarty. Now, this book is a dramatic book. It revolves around three women whose lives are turned upside down with the shocking revelation, which is The Secret. I give it a 4.2 out of 5. Now, in this book, what I loved most is the character development because it was so apt to the story, and the plot, the flow of the story was really put together well. It has drama, a bit of romance, and some certain themes as well. I feel like in this book you cannot miss out the epilogue of this book. If you do not like reading epilogue, you should definitely read the epilogue of this book, because this epilogue will just make you wonder of what ifs, and also in a way it's like saying goodbye to the story. It's just written so well. Okay, that's about it. Whoa, I talked about 18 books at a stretch. Okay, now apart from this, I read 4 self-help books. No, I'm still a fictional girly. I still love fiction. The reason I read those books were a few for college purposes and others were just very random books. Now, anyhow, I also tried new genres this year. I tried dark romance out of sheer curiosity. I read The Cat and Mouse Duet. Now, I definitely don't think that I would go near these books in the near future. I am traumatized enough. And one more book I read was a fantasy book. I am not a fantasy reader particularly. I only read fiction, and I want to try fantasy. I wanted to really, understand what's all the hype about. But I feel like I picked up the wrong book. The book I picked up, once I finished the book, I was just confused. Like, I was just really confused. Nothing made sense to me in that story. I did not like that book at all. Now, I wouldn't recommend that book. And also would not like to name that book because that book is a really good marketed book in the internet. So I'd rather stay out of that. That's my wrap, guys. 25 books in 6 months has been crazy. I hope this kind of reading continues there for the rest of the year. If you found this video helpful, please do share, like, comment about it. I also want to know how your reading went so far and what are you planning to read. And also I'd like you guys to give me some points that I should improve in my reviews. I'll definitely take that into consideration. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll meet you in the next one. Bye.